Hello everybody, Salty is back. Different video today, custom Gouf time. I asked my Discord actually last year what type of custom mobiles, custom Gouf they could come up with, and this is what we have. Starting out with, well, I should read Aki's, but that's really all it is. I don't think he was really, I think he was joking around. For the first one, here strikes a Gouf Custom that would be the base. Its left arm would be equipped with the heat rod from the standard Gouf. Keep the heat wire in the right arm for reach and utility, while the heat rod could excel in general combat flexibility. It would sport shields on both arms. The shields each store in a vanilla Gouf heat sword. Both ends of the shield would have been sharpened and reinforced to make them punching weapons similar to Katars. A 3-barreled Gatling gun would be stored under each shield. Didn't he say that already? Could have swore. With extra magazines on the back skirt. As heat weapons by nature easily wear with use, they are considered disposable. As a result, the Gouf has a pair of heat spare hawks stored on the hips to replace the heat swords if they wear out in prolonged combat. The frame and joints of the arms and manipulators would be reinforced to handle the additional stress that comes from with punching attacks. And the first knuckle in each digit would sport a small spike. It would sport FS-style 40mm quad Vulcans in the head. The knee armor would also be sharpened to reinforce the offensive capabilities. It would have a backpack from the high mobility Gelgug and strengthened frame and motors in the legs to help compensate for the extra weight added due to the equipment. If need be, it would also carry a Xenix-style 90mm rifle for longer range. The color scheme is mostly dull gray for on all the limbs, black torso, knees, and toes, white plate above the cockpit, piping, and shoulder spikes. And the sword he came up with is his pilot excelled at close range and was always considered a brawler, so the Gouf was just fine-tuned and customized to emphasize his strengths. Although the extra firepower on the arms and head do give the Gouf a pretty decent ranged arsenal, the pilot has a tendency to fire them at point blank while clashing blades to catch enemies off guard so he can follow through with more damaging attacks, and his is called the Gouf Brawler. Trailus' Gouf is a flight type as the base model. The power plant for the suit would be upgraded to allow the usage of beam machine gun of the Gelgug Jaeger. Sorry, the cat jumped on the desk. The shield would be a standard Gouf shield mounted over a 3-barreled Gatling gun. Had Vulcans instead of the heat swords, or instead of the heat swords, a large heat axe. Extra missile pods added on the shoulders and legs. The Gouf flight type was designed to destroy targets or destroy the various Federation carriers and land ships on the Earth's surface. The utilization of beam machine guns as well as missile pods make it easy to destroy key parts of the large crafts. And so Trailus, he did his in this weird format. I'm gonna have to click on. Cat, you're hurting me with your nails. Small added to his legs is that once the suit gets rid of all of its weapons, because I don't even think the suit could move with all the stuff that he tacked onto it. The suit would be able to hover once he gets rid of the weapons. Come on, there we go. So haven't decided the name on his Gouf. Cat, stop. Go on. It'll be using Gouf Custom as a base and some Zaku high mobility parts just to be thrown in. Modified Zaku high mobility R1A legs included upgraded with more newer thrusters for higher speeds, mobility, and the ability to higher speeds, mobility, and the ability to temporarily hover for a short distance, similar to the Dom. Fuel cartridges have been upgraded to hold more fuel to offset the fuel consumption. Extra leg armor based on the weight, the Efort Custom, are added that removed the the missile pods and had a pair of heat knives stored underneath as a hidden weapon, can be purged if needed, and the special mechanism is installed to allow the knives to shoot up, so it doesn't need to purge the armor to grab the knives. The feet would be equipped with special dampeners, makes its footsteps completely silent. Its backpack would install a small missile rack that would look similar to the Rigogu, but that holds up to 8 smoke missiles, which would create a massive smoke screen and had longer range than other missiles. More powerful thrusters would be installed. A fuel tank would be installed to help with fuel consumption. Modified Gouf Custom shoulders. The spikes on the shoulders would be made pointier and have more spikes, and have handles onto them so they could be used as handheld weapons. Modified Gouf Custom arms. The arms would have 3-barrel Gatling guns on each arm, with one arm retaining the electric wire and the other one having the heat rod that was more flexible to entangle enemy MS. The bottom end of the Gouf shield would be used to protect the 3-barreled Gatling guns on the arms, would also keep the weight down by not having a full shield. Modified Gouf Custom head. A fold-down visor would go over the mono eye to allow the Gouf to see through smoke, darkness, and made it to where the enemy supports cannot see the mono eye at all. Primary weapons are 2 heat swords that are stored on the side of the leg armor. 1 heat halberd from the Ifrit DS is stored on the back of the on the side of the backpack. 2 3-barreled Gatling guns on the arms. 1 electric wire on the left. 1 heat rod on the right. Handheld shoulder spikes. A special lever action shotgun. 8-tube smoke missile launcher on the back. 2 heat hawks are stored on the side of the skirt. Optional weapons, 2 MP-80s and a giant bazooka. Like I said, I don't think this suit is moving. And he goes on to say, looking through my notes, I can't believe my dumbass wrote down so much, though I could have defined, simplified some of the parts. Alright, so here's Agent Phoenix's Gouf. The head's going to have a pair of 40mm Vulcans installed and an antenna that would be put on the back of the head. The torso is going to be the same as the Gouf Custom. The backpack would be replaced by one of these, used by the Zaku Kai, while being upgraded with stronger thrusters and a pair of cameras for better visibility. The shoulder armor will be replaced for the pieces used by the Zaku commander type, and the spikes, like the Ifrit Noct, added. The left arm would have the heat rod that the Gouf Custom uses, while the right arm will use the Ifrit Custom's grenade launcher. The legs will be changed to similar to the Ifrit Nocts. The reactor and generator would be upgraded as well to several veneer thrusters would be placed in a few parts of the body, legs, shoulders, and skirt armor. Fuel capacity is also upgraded. For armaments, the Gouf can use the Rikdom 2's giant bazooka, a more compact version of the MMP-80 with foregrip and faster firing rate. Search up the MP5K for better context. The one that was seen in Black Ops, a shotgun can also be equipped, although it's usually replaces the bazooka. Due to the upgraded reactor and generator, this Gouf can use beam weapons. However, much like the Hyzak, can only equip 1 beam weapon at a time, and usually not as well performing than suits with better generators. For beam weapons, can either equip the Goku G's beam rifle or the Zaku's beam saber. If it equips the beam rifle, it replaces the shotgun or bazooka, and the beam saber is seldom used by the pilot. It can also use the Gouf Custom's heat sword and act Zaku Heat Hawk as well. The shield has been upgraded with explosive reactive plates installed on it due to the new upgrades on better thrusters and veneers. The Gouf, I'm not going to attempt Einherjar. Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, Phoenix. I'm sorry, bud. The jar being similar to how one pronounces Jormungandr. It's one of the easiest pronunciations I found, being Old Norse and all that. Can be used in space with a limited success, requiring few modifications to completely be usable in the environment, changing the backpack out to something similar to the Gelgug high mobility type, along with 2 fuel tanks that can be purged. His backstory is in November 0080, a Xeon Remnants group located in Greenland decided to turn into a PMC after realizing they were basically waiting for a chance to at revenge that would more than likely get them killed and would also hurt the colonies that they called home. Using United Maintenance Plan parts, the newly formed Viking Company PMC created the Gouf Custom, a close combat assault unit made to overwhelm enemy MS in melee combat and be able to intercept targets with extremely fast speeds. The development of this variant was chaotic to say the least, and it took 2 months to get it finished, but the final product was still an excellent improvement over the original machine and was able to contend with even newer suits. Like the Marasite. In January of 0087, the Viking Company would join up with Karaba and act independently from the main group, and would be supplied with up-to-date mobile suits during the first Neo-Zeon War. After its end, they would go back to being a PMC. The name of the Gouf is reference to warriors that would bravely die in battle and reach Valhalla. Got the inspiration for it by watching God of War Ragnarok's gameplay. Jeff's Goufs is the MS-07C-R-1/2, or the Gouf Exo Atmospheric Custom. It is a modified torso to allow simple veneer thrusters to be modified. Thrusters, a modified head with Vulcan guns, and a right arm of the normal Gouf Custom. The left legs and backpack are of the high mobility Zakus. The weapons it would carry is a simplified missile launcher for the opening attack, then discard the magnetic wire, I'm assuming, would be improved for space combat and allow for unexpected mobility, a standard heat sword and an MP-80, a Gouf Custom Gatling shield under the shield, and a 3-barreled wrist Gatling gun and the 40mm head Vulcans. During his retreat from Earth, a Xeon Ace was ambushed during the early stages of the launch, and their Gouf Custom, having its legs and left arm destroyed, got away alive but comatose. But most of the Fetty suits were routed by Xeon reinforcements, with then unable to command for a few weeks or so. The second, okay, Jeff, you need to work on your fucking typing, bud. I'm getting an aneurysm just reading this shit. So you need to fix this. You need to type better. Going on to Claudio's. Gouf flight. So custom Gouf base is the Gouf flight type. Body modifications. Flight legs would replace with regular Gouf legs for grounded combat. Weapons: MMP-80 with grenade launcher, shotgun, 3-barreled 35mm gun, heat wire ×2, Stormfaust ×2, and a heat sword mounted on the side skirt due to lack of shield purpose. Lightweight sweeper meant to come in and end of the assault to bag stragglers and tired combatants not ready to take on a very fast and agile suit. Rocking a majority of disposal weapons in order to pump and dump to keep constant movement, and utilizing erratic tactics such as dashing between or even through buildings and jumping usually high and fast. Nearing the end of the war of the North American continent, the fighting continues to be fierce and supplies scarce. Ace pilots Artigas repurposes a damaged Gouf flight type after going full send in a Gelgug. Morale surprisingly high, with rookies now experienced enough not to overextend in combat situations. They engaged in enemy forces and enticed them to come out far, where Artigas will sweep the enemy unaware. Such tactics were effective for a short while, long enough to salvage weapons and even steal mobile suits. Once the Federation grew accustomed to these maneuvers, they forced a large engagement where Claudio, or Artigas, while he was alone. The battle forming an artillery line, applying ample bombardment for Artigas to retreat by the skin of his teeth. A guerrilla unit, by the end, all surviving members were defect to Anaheim Electronics. And here's the kicker. Claudio went and had built this Gouf, so let's go check that out real quick. So this is the completed model. As you can see, it looks really cool. He had to do some modifying to the arms or something, if I'm not mistaken. And the shotgun mount right on the backpack, the 2 Sternfaust, looks really good. Shield. Oh, well, he gave it a shield. Look at that. Oh, he's got to paint that. But yeah, looks good. Looks really good. I like it. So here's mine. Mine's a bit of a fucking stupid. It's quite stupid. My personal Gouf Custom, or custom Gouf, I guess. Using the Gouf Custom as a base, modifications would be geared to making it more well-rounded and have the ability to switch out parts to allow for different roles. Let's start out with the armor. Left shoulder pad has been replaced by the angled shoulder armor from the High Ground type Zaku. This is done to help with firing right-handed. So meaning like if I'm firing right-handed, I'm going to be facing my left side toward them, and it's going to be covered by the angled shield and all that, allowing rounds to impact the shield with a high chance of bouncing. The right shoulder would be left alone. The chest would be left alone, while the waist would be modified to have the ability to mount more ammo for the handheld weapons. The back is where things would start getting interesting. The backpack would be can be switched out depending on what the current mission calls for. Think of the Dean West High Ground type. Different types of backpacks would include the High Ground type for urban battles, the Zaku cannons for disruption, half cannons for area suppression and anti-air. Each backpack can be removed and installed within 15 minutes to allow for quick resupply and allow for access to different tactics. The arms could also be switched out depending on the mission and area in which I find myself located. The right arm can be switched out and modified to have the Gouf. I can't pronounce that, and I'm pretty sure it means victory in Indian, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Scissor anchor launcher to allow me to hide high up in the mountains or for combat, as the wire can support up to twice the Gouf's weight. The left arm has more choices to play with, being able to switch out for several options, such as the Gouf heavy arm. Now equipped with the modified ammunitions, allowing for massive improvement of armor penetration. The other arm change would be the gun pack from the Gouf Tactical Assault type, which comes with a machine gun, a medium rifle, a flamethrower, and a small rocket launcher. The legs of the suit would be normal Gouf Custom legs, modified light or to have magnetic coating, so I would be able to move a lot quicker. Main weapons would normally just be the 90mm MG, and that's my Gouf. That's essentially it. He never got his Gouf done, I guess, but it was just it was a combination. He was going with the idea of a combination of a Gouf and the Ifrit Noct. Daniel's Zaku is the Gouf Desert Heavy Custom, the MS-07C-DH. A Gouf Custom mounted the head and shoulders of the Gouf Heavy Arms, 2 smoke dischargers, 1 on each shoulder, and a modified Zaku 2 Desert type backpack with a sub-arm to carry a Sternfaust, dust covers on the joints and improved filters and cooling to handle the long-term use in the desert. Painted in the same desert tan paint job as the Zaku 2 F2. Armaments would include 1 30mm head Vulcan, 2 4-tube missile smoke dischargers, 1 Sternfaust on backpack, 1 early MMP-80, 7 magazines, 1 in the MMP-80, and 3 on each front skirt, 2 homing grenades on the side skirt, and a heat hawk on its back skirt, 3-tube missile launcher mounted on the left arm and heat wire on the right arm. Story: a suit used by a member of the Xenon Special Spec Ops in Unit Desert Spectres. This unit mainly operated in Africa, performing saboteur, search and destroy missions during the One-Year War. Federation reports the suit had been seen assisting Xeon remnants in UC-0083 to UC-0096. And for the last one, we have Rand Hero's Noct Gouf. The heavily damaged knocked Gouf was recovered from the ruins of the Aiden base months after its destruction. It was then repaired by a small group of Xeon remnants to be thrust back into use. It retains the torso and backpack of the knocked, including its jamming. The Gouf victory, wait, what, I skipped a full fucking line, didn't I? Yeah, including its jamming and stealth capabilities. The arms, legs, and head parts were all replaced with left behind parts of various Gouf units. The right arm of the Gouf Victory, the left arm of the Gouf Heavy Arms type, the head and legs of the Gouf Custom. Wow, this is kind of sounding like mine, isn't it? Its name is the Night Gouf. Was meant to be a joke, but this led to everything being repainted to dark blue and black. Armaments. The right arm of the Gouf Victory comes equipped with a scissor anchor launcher meant for use to climbing mountains. Its chain is more than strong enough to support the weight of the unit, and the anchor is also easily used as a mid-range combat in ranged weapon in MS combat. The left arm comes equipped with its 5-barrel 85mm machine gun. The gun has 5 barrels in the shape of which are in the shape of fingers. It fires physical rounds at a rapid and possesses enough firepower to destroy lightly armored mobile suits with ease. Has 2 firing modes, full auto and a sort of shotgun spray. The hand secondary clip of ammo stored on the left side of the skirt. Also equipped is an MMP-80 kept on the rear skirt as a backup weapon with 2 extra mags clipped onto the left leg. The Nox original cold daggers are also attached to those shoulders, and due to the complexities of the stealth system, it took some time for it to be repaired and was known to give out on occasion. Oh, that's not good. But yeah, that's everybody's custom Gouf. Let me know what you guys think. Tell me down below what your custom Goufs would be. And we shall wait. We gotta go check out the patrons too, which boom. Our patrons are Brandon Markey, Azrael, Gun Nuggers, Jeff Dunn, Maverick, Momika, Peter Strike, Oni Savage, Adam, Pseudosouls, Alamos, Mysterious Mercenary, Talameus, Phantom Oski, Viscarian, Xenocos, Kig Bryson, Claudio, Crusader, NJ Bean, Streeter, Streeter, Trelos, Destroyer, Sean, Living Deadward, David, RGM, and for the Salt Plow, we have Aki and Rand Hero. I want to thank you guys for coming. I want to thank you guys for coming and watching. It means a lot, and we shall talk to you guys later.